leg, and we're underway.
Here we go.
You know what time the game starts? All right, here we go, fellas. Let's have a little fun today. Is anybody else tired, or is it just me? I got some advice for y'all. Take 2 weeks off, then quit.
From the goal line to the 5 to the 10 to the 15. Through a hole to the 20, to the 30, outside to the 40. He may be gone. Midfield to the 40, the 30, the 25, 20, the 10, 5. Touchdown for Desmond Howard.
What's going on, fans? I mean, dude, it ended with a Zadarius sack and just a little T-shirt action again by him. I mean, it's incredible first half by the Packers. I'll be honest, I didn't expect this, but I'm Matt Freilich. We got Ryan Bowman, Ryan Schoberg hitting you with the halftime hits real quick. Monday Night Football, late night, got pushed back twice, which, you know, it is what it is. I'm in Lambeau Field, as you guys can see. Schoberg, you weren't on the last time, but I was in New Orleans, so that was fun too. I mean, we've been getting all over the globe, but first half reactions from you guys, we'll get to that, but of course you can find me on Twitter at Matt_Frey_. You can find Ryan Schoberg below me at Ryan_Schoberg, and then Ryan Bowman at Ryan Bowman PMWW. First and foremost, what are you guys drinking? We were talking about that a little beforehand. That's usually a important thing to know. Oh, is that a Red Dog?
No. All right. So it's my last week in Mankato, Minnesota. My favorite beer of all time is the Mankato Brewery Mad Butcher. It's a citrus IPA. Shout out Mankato Brewery. Sponsor me if you feel like it. Chris Collins, head brewer. You're the man. You make great beer. I'll be sad to leave because it's so hard to find in Sioux Falls. But Ryan Bowman, what are you drinking up there?
You know, just for everybody, there's context here. I'm on a keto diet right now, so I got to drink something that's got no sugar, no carbs. So I have resorted to the hard seltzer, the vodka soda. So I'm slightly embarrassed to say that, but I've got some health goals here that I'm trying to accomplish some stuff here. So
we don't drink shame on this show.
Okay.
No, we don't drink shame, especially not hard seltzers.
They're pretty
Big
good.
fan over here.
They're better than low carb beers. Okay. If you've tried a low carb beer in your life, it's absolute piss. So I will take this over that any day.
I'm just drinking straight water, Green Bay water, little Nalgene situation. I have a podcast to record after the game and early morning. So you guys enjoy yourselves. I made up for it this weekend. I had many IPAs this weekend, but first half reactions. Let's get into it. So personally, defense showed up. Offense has pretty much been running the way we've expected. Schoberg, what have your thoughts been so far?
Well, question was going into this, who's going to step up? Alan Lazard out, Devontae Adams out. No weapons on this offense. Jamal Williams, the running back, 4 rushes for 4 yards. Ho-hum, right? Well, 6 catches, 77 yards. He's the leading receiver in the first half. He's really filled that void where people weren't really sure who was going to step up. Darius Shepard, Bob Tonyan, MVS, which some of those guys have. Bob Tonyan, another guy who's had a really good half. 2 touchdowns. Shout out Alex Struth. He is the first tight end for the Packers the last 19 years since Bubba Franks to have a touchdown in 3 straight games. Alex Struth hit us with that stat here before the game. But first half reactions couldn't have gone much better. Bowman, what do you got?
Yeah, I mean, I pretty much echo those thoughts. I sent out a tweet that the defense actually showed up the first 2 drives, back-to-back 3-and-outs. Has that happened this year? No, that's the first time that's happened this year. So especially against this Atlanta offense, who, you know, by all accounts, as a matchup on paper, should have been able to move the ball against Green Bay early. So that's a huge win, especially it playing into the Packers kind of game flow where they want to get out to an early lead and then run that ball and force Atlanta to be one-dimensional. So, I mean, pretty much everything that they did in the first half went along with their plan. So I can't imagine that Matt LaFleur and company are anything but happy going into that locker room. I think it's super essential, though, that they keep their foot on the gas and come out of the second half and score a touchdown. Like, put this game out of reach, demoralize this Atlanta Falcons team that's already 0-3, make them think, like, let's just get on the plane and get back home. Come out firing in the second half. Absolutely.
Matt, what do you have here?
Yeah, and I think it's like both teams are playing aggressive. Yeah, both teams have been playing aggressive. I mean, a couple handful of fourth down attempts. Obviously, that drive by the Falcons, that was incredible. Like, we got to get to that. Like, 20 plays, 10 plus minutes, like 94 yards.
3 points.
At that point, 3 points. And I know you went for one fourth down, so it's tough to go for 2 and come up with 0 points. But that was an impressive drive from them. And I think that's what Matt LaFleur was going off of. He's like, this team kind of had, what did they have, 2 3-and-outs to start? And he's like, he's just going to gamble on the fact that they're going to do the same thing. And luckily, I mean, it didn't officially backfire. The most bend don't break defense possible, from what everyone was saying on Twitter, which is true. So, but it's been nice to see. There hasn't been one receiver that stood out. It's basically been Robert Tonyan, and then the running backs all get into play. We're seeing A.J. Dillon get a little more run earlier on than he has in the previous weeks. Ryan Bowman, I know you weren't happy about the lack of a touch for your boy A.J. Dillon on the 1-yard line there. Talk to me a little bit about that.
So I put out a poll on Twitter to say, how many more times are we going to see a failed 4th and 1, 3rd and 1, where they do some shotgun run to Aaron Jones or Jamal Williams? And I love those guys. Okay. But like, AJ Dillon is getting that 1 yard, even if it's not blocked well, he's getting the 1 yard. So like, you drafted him, use him. Every press conference, they say, we got to get AJ Dillon the ball more. We got to get him in those spots. And it's not happening. So at some point, I mean, what do I know? Matt LaFleur clearly has a game plan for the Atlanta Falcons, and it involves a lot of Jamal Williams and Aaron Jones out of the backfield. But in that specific scenario, I would love to see you just hand it to your power back and let him go get the yard, not out of the shotgun from under center, please. And thank you.
To go off that point, the one thing that you can really nitpick so far early on in the season with this team is their inside the 20 offense. The red zone offense hasn't quite put up the efficiency numbers that they did last year. And you draft A.J. Dillon in the 2nd round, really thinking he can be the guy inside the 5-yard line, inside the 10, to get those tough yards that you need to get 7 points instead of getting stuffed at the goal line to extend this lead to 27-3. But if you don't put A.J. Dillon out for that scenario, what scenario are you going to put him out there for this year?
And that's the weird part. Like, you don't run him there, and then all of a sudden he gets some play in the next drive or the drive after that. Like, it seems like a perfect opportunity. Maybe it wasn't the flow of the game yet, but I mean, I think you throw him in there at that point. Let him get a crack at it, right?
Well, and maybe we'll see it in the second half, right? If this game gets out of hand and the Packers go up 27-3, maybe that's the time to, give Aaron Jones, Jamal Williams a little bit of a breather and let A.J. Dillon pound the rock. We'll have to see how the flow goes in the second half.
A game of inches, though, right down there on the goal line, right? Darius Shepard runs a 3.5-yard route that required 3 3/4 of a yard. And a game of inches, that's the difference between 7 points and a game of 0 points. So in a game that's not the Atlanta Falcons, and a game that's the San Francisco 49ers, the Seattle Seahawks, a decent team, that's going to be big. You can't have those type of mental errors in a game that might have a little bit more of implications than this game does tonight.
Definitely,
yeah, it's a great point.
I mean, I think normally that's a Alan Lazard route. I feel like I've seen him run that route a few times there, close to the goal line, big body, and like it's just kind of one of those things when you have the replacements in. But let's get a little bit to adjustments for the second half. Normally, the last few weeks I've been saying there's been quite a bit. Right now, I mean, I guess the Packers are getting after Matt Ryan pretty good. They're stopping the run game. No one's really hurting them too much in the receiving game, but I would say maybe it's just some miscues on tackles. That's all I've seen thus far for the Packers defense. But offensively, I mean, I really have no complaints at this point. It'd be, I think now you just kind of go what's been working the last few weeks, that deceptive window dressing offense, motion, and see what they can do. Do you guys have any other thoughts either side of the ball? Let's go with Schoberg.
There's not much more that you could ask for after a 20-3 halftime score. So I would say keep the intensity. Obviously, there's no fans in the stadium. It's going to be hard. Yeah, thank the Lord for Bobby Tonyan. It's going to be tough to really keep that energy coming out, but keep the gas pedal down. And what I really like is, who are the Falcons going into halftime really saying that they have to key on? Aaron Jones got the first possession of the half, was a really big factor in that possession, had a catch of 9 yards, had a catch of or had runs of 9 and 24 yards and then had a touchdown. And then the next 2 drives, I think Jamal Williams was in and really did effective in his own right. And then you have Bob Tanyan, you have MVS. So who are they going into the locker room really saying that they're going to key on? And I don't think you can really choose one guy. Maybe they'll choose to try to take away Aaron Jones to the best of their abilities, given they're down so much and we might be running more. But that really frees it up for the guys outside to show what they're capable of in a game where they really want to prove that they belong here in the NFL.
Yeah, and I think for me,
Bowman,
on
what
the
do you think?
adjustment, we got a lag here, Fralick. But for me, as far as adjustments go, I think I'm going to look at this in a little bit of a different kind of viewpoint. I think this is what the Packers offense needs to be all the time, and insert Devontae Adams into the X spot, right? Like it reminds me of last year when he was gone for 4 games and you saw the creativity, you saw the motion, you saw all those plays. That was the Matt LaFleur offense because they had to go to it to get away from some of the stuff that maybe they typically do. And you saw those kind of 2 concepts start to meld early on this season. And I think this is just the next step where they say, wow, we can really utilize Jamal Williams in the slot and have him be effective, or Tyler Ervin, whoever, right? That 5 eligible receivers, that 4 of them don't have to be wide receivers, is really showing up here in this game. And I would just love to see them implement some more of this stuff as they go along. But I'm being pretty nitpicky here. Matt LaFleur has called an amazing game. The defense has shown up and played lights out. They've held a really potent offense to 3 points, guys. Like my heart is like, is this for real? Or next week are we going to be, cursing Mike Pettin again? But yeah, I mean, you guys said it. You can't really ask for much more. I mean, Jerry's chiming in here. Play calling this entire year has been a major difference. The injuries today will pay dividends for the younger players later in the year. Absolutely. You got Darius Shepard. I just want to point this out. The camera kind of showed it, but after Darius Shepard made that big catch, Rodgers just came on and gave him like 3 good bangs on the helmet.
Terrible teammate.
What a terrible teammate. What an awful leader. But you knew, like you knew that like Shepard had lived with that not failure, but his missteps, for a whole year. So to just come out and make a play, be active on game day, contribute in a positive way, you could tell that kind of made his life. And Rodgers acknowledged it. Rodgers knew how much that meant to him. And I thought that was a really cool moment.
Totally. I totally agree. As we transition here, gearing up for the second half, my only predictions, well, I guess it's not really a prediction. Which player will the Monday Night Crew mispronounce? Will it be David Bakhtiari again, or Martez Valdez Mumble Scantling, or are they just going to get them all right in the last 30 minutes of play? Did they review the sheet, the call sheet? It's got the right names and the pronunciation on it.
They just can't get that crew right. Like, bring back Jason Witten, words I thought I would never utter out of my mouth again, but please.
Bring back Witten, just don't bring back Booger, and I'm good.
Fair.
But second half predictions, I'm thinking they screw up the easiest name in the book, A.K. DeLeon or something like that.
Oh.
No A.J. Dillon. Put a little French connotation on that.
DJ Dillon, got it.
Little Canadian flavor there, show.
Little flair.
There you go. Yeah, for me, I mean, more of the same. I think we might see a little bit, rotating in some personnel if this game gets out of hand. Hopefully, I do expect to see AJ Dillon getting some carries in the fourth quarter. If the Packers can take care of business in the third quarter and put this game out of reach, I expect some of those younger players to, DeGuara, Dillon, to start getting some snaps and getting some looks in this offense.
Checking here Twitter before we get off. Chandon Sullivan out for the game with a concussion, allegedly. We did see Darnell Savage come back, which was nice. In his absence, Raven Green was flying around the ball, playing some pretty good defense. But I look forward to at least playing with a lead here. Hopefully they can sustain it. I think they'll probably maintain that. But any final words for either of you boys before we fill up the water, crack another 0 carb, 0 sugar beverage, and drink a delicious IPA?
Let's bang on our drums all day. No fans in the stadium. Let's keep it rolling. Let's keep the offense going. I'll tell you what, this is it might not be the best offense of our lifetime, even though it might be as well. But it's the most fun to watch schematically. They don't have all the weapons that they could have, but
you
schematically,
don't know what's coming. Like,
yeah,
it's
you
crazy
don't know
to
what's
watch.
coming.
Sorry, go ahead, Schoberg. I interrupted.
The motion, the swing offense, the taking shots down the field. You didn't get this with McCarthy. Go ahead, Bowman.
Well, and we were talking about it before we went live. Like, it's nice to see when Davante Adams is out. You know, in the past, it was, well, next man up and go and do the same thing that your superstar can do when they're clearly not able to do that. Marquez Valdes-Scantling is a really good player, but he's not Davante Adams. So don't expect him to go out and win ISO routes all day like Davante Adams. They're scheming the guys open. They're playing to their strengths. They've got a game plan that's attacking it, and it's just so nice to see. I mean, once upon a time, McCarthy was like that. He was a super creative offensive mind, and the Packers did a lot of damage. But over the last few years of his tenure, that kind of went away. And, you know, it's just so exciting to not actually know who's going to get the ball on a play. You know, it's been a while since I've been able to say that, and I couldn't be happier about it. So
couldn't agree more. But Ryan Bowman, Ryan Schoberg, I'm Matt Frelick. Appreciate you guys chiming in, hitting the comments for the halftime hits from PWW. Enjoy the second half, and we'll catch you after the game.
Have a good one, guys. Go Pack, go.
Cheers, everybody.
Now here's the run-up. Swing of the right leg, and we're underway.
Here we go.
You know what time the game starts? All right, here we go, fellas. Let's have a little fun today. Is anybody else tired, or is it just me? I got some advice for y'all. Take 2 weeks off, then quit.
From the goal line to 5 and 10 to 15. Through a hole to the 20, to the 30, outside, to the 40. He may be gone. Midfield, to the 40, the